Episode number 111, I believe. That is right, episode number 111 of this great show entitled the Tommy Maroon Sports Show right here on WCTV. Of course, Highland Sports Network will have you covered for a lot more, including tomorrow where there's going to be a doubles tennis match right here, or no, not right here on WCTV, but rather on my YouTube channel, Highland Sports Network. So if you like Highland tennis, subscribe there. If you like Highland football, subscribe there because I'll do a post-game show Saturday. And if you like Highland volleyball, subscribe to it because I'll be announcing a volleyball game as well. So I'm doing 3 things in 3 days. How about that for the Highland Hornets? And how about this for the Cleveland Indians, a team that's struggling immensely? The man that leads us in average heading into yesterday is Ahmed Rosario, 278. Jose now has 27 home runs. And how many RBIs? He has 74. He has 23 doubles. Ahmed 6 triples. Aaron Savali still leads us with 130 strikeouts. Manuel Clase leads us with 16 saves. And Brian Shaw has more appearances than anyone else with a grand total of 56. So now with that being said, time to look at the series recaps, including the one against the A's when we got swept 3-9. It was really embarrassing. It was really depressing. Elvis Andrews had a game-tying home run in Game 2, and Jed Lowry hit a go-ahead home run in Game 2. And then the A's scored 17 runs in the third game. 17! The pitching was nowhere to be found that day. Good Lord, Matt Chapman walked 5 times. 5 free passes. 8 A's had RBIs in that game. It was insane. It was just that bad. Fortunately, against the Tigers, we did much, much better, winning the series 2-1. Ernie Clement had 2 home runs in Game 1, which were not just his first, but second career home runs as well. Yu Chang also had a home run because don't we all love you? Yu Chang's a good baseball player. Eric Cassie had a go-ahead 2-run single in Game 2. And Jose Ramirez had an RBI triple in Game 2. But meanwhile, the story in Game 3 was Tristan McKenzie. It was 4 outs away from a perfect game. And then a base hit. Oh, man, it was so frustrating in my opinion. I thought he was going to do it. I was watching Tristan McKenzie. I was watching T-Mac, and I'm like, yeah, he's got it. This is definitely his night. And then before you knew it, a little base hit in a right field. All 11 runs for the Indians were scored in the second inning and third inning. 6 in the second and 5 in the third. And then the Indians against the Twins so far, we're in a rubber match as it's Game 3, and the series is tied at 1. Bradley Zimmer 2-run home run Game 1, but Jorge Polanco walked it off that night. The next night, Daniel Johnson, boy, oh boy, a 2-run mammoth bomb in a center field that gave the Indians a 2-0 lead. We held out 3-1. James Karachek did a good job with the hold. And of course, right now, we're in the 7th inning of the Indians-Twins game, and we're losing 7-5 because the pitching just decided to not show up in the 5th inning, gave up 5 runs. 5 runs. Dear heavens. But don't worry, the Franimal is leading off, and then it'll be Oscar and Owen. Franmil has a home run today. So does Jose. Of course, Jose hit number 27. Now time to get back to NASCAR because, well, we haven't talked about NASCAR in a very while, which means we're going to go to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The Brickyard 400? No, not the Brickyard 400. We're doing the Verizon 200 at the Brickyard. That's right. We're going to see some definitely awkward turns here at the road course. That's right, a road course, which means you're turning right and turning left rather than just simply turning left all the time. Very weird to see it in my opinion, especially at the famed Indianapolis Motor Speedway, which can hold more than anyone else out there at any venue in the United States. But A.J. Allmendinger won it in overtime. The second career win for A.J. Allmendinger and his 4th race of the season. That's right, he's only raced 4 times this year. And then in this one, he wins. Who would have thunk it? He will, I believe, make the playoffs. That's what I believe, though. Tyler Reddick, number 8, Stage 1 and Stage 2 winners. But despite that, couldn't get the job done at the Indianapolis road course. That's still very weird to see. A road course right there at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson battle for 9th place in the second stage. Of course, those two have had good seasons. Of course, Kyle Larson's been on a tear. Austin Cindric spun out in lap 51, and debris made a caution occur on lap 74. The red flag would come out 5 years later. 5 laps later. There's Austin Cindric spinning out. Never a good sight to see. No, sir. Just like how the Indians are still losing 7-5, but now there are 2 outs. Franimal and Oscar couldn't do anything. I'm losing my train of thought. There were 2 overtimes. That's right, 2 overtimes for this race. And by the way, Matt DiBenedetto had a 5th place finish, and Eric Jones ended up in 7th. And how about this? Justin Haley, a surprising 8th place finish. How about that out of Justin Haley? Wasn't going to expect that out of him, but hey, who knew? Now it's time for Tommy's Picks. We are back. That's right. For those that forgot what it's about, here's what happens. Every week I will give picks based on at least a lot of games. Let's think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 16 games. 16 games. Now, it works like this. There will be my record and there will be my points. Each game that I predict is worth 1 point except for 2 games. My lock of the week, which is worth 2 points, and my upset of the week, which is worth 2 points. And after everything is done with, I total everything. Like, for instance, if I get my lock of the week and upset of the week correct and I go 10-6, that means I had 12 points and went 10-6. That's how it works. So let's go right back to that screen and see who I've picked. Brunswick starts off against Avon. The Avon Eagles will not win, in my opinion. Brunswick at the Mart is going to win. That is one of the biggest and best stadiums out there, my friends. And Walsh Jesuit plays Benedictine. I, for one, am picking Walsh to take home that one. And then you have Stowe Monroe Falls against Cuyahoga Falls. My pick is going to be Stowe. No, not my pick. My lock of the week is going to be Stowe. Stowe Monroe Falls Bulldogs with a quarterback that is going to be playing at Bowling Green next year should get the job done. But that's just me. Aurora against Euclid. My upset of the week. The Green Men should take home the win against the Euclid Panthers. Should be a good one out there in Aurora. Solon against Hudson. I'm picking the Hudson Explorers to win it. Highland against Berea Mid Park. We're going to have a blackout that night in the student section. There's special shirts out there for it. And in my opinion, it's going to be a big game. And to me, your winner will be the Highland Hornets. That's right, the Highland Hornets will win that game. And what will be a fun one. It'll come down to the wire, in my opinion. And I'm just excited as all anything. So, yes, and as we continue, Canton McKinley going to play Mentor. I'm thinking the Mentor Cardinals are going to win. Avon Lake plays Strongsville. I'm picking the Shore Men of Avon Lake. Then Copley against Twinsburg. Copley to win that. Cleveland Heights playing Hoover, and what should be a good one out there. I'm picking the visiting Cleveland Heights. And then Chardon versus Glenville. Chardon should win it. Archbishop Hoban against Bishop Sycamore. Going to pick Archbishop Hoban. Wadsworth, you guys, against St. Vincent St. Mary. I really think the Grizzlies can win that one against a very rough and tough St. Vincent St. Mary school. And then Elyria against Elyria Catholic, a rivalry. The Elyria Pioneers struggled in the GCC. They're out of the GCC now, but I still don't think it'll be enough to take down the tough Elyria Catholic. Rocky River against the Midview Middies. I'm picking Rocky River. The Pirates should win that. And then the Talmadge Blue Devils against Ravenna. I'm picking the Blue Devils to win that game in what should be a good one. Now, in my opinion, Highland Berea Mid Park is the game that I'm looking forward to the most. I'm sorry, that's definitely a bias. Bias to me. By the way, those numbers, those top 25 rankings, that was according to Northeast Ohio Zone, NEO Zone. on Twitter. Follow them. Subscribe to them on YouTube. And subscribe to me on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter at Sports Hornets. That's right. And on Instagram at HHS Network. Should be, of course, a great game. It's the Taste of Highland, by the way, on Friday. The Taste of Highland, where there's music and food and everything you could imagine. It's basically like a carnival and stuff, but for a football game for the Hornets. I can't wait for it, but I'm not going to go to it because I have to be on the football field at 5 o'clock p.m. Jeez, what's up with me going 5 today? Oh boy, 5 o'clock p.m. literally on the field because of marching band commitments. That's why I will not be announcing football. Hopefully I will next year, but not this year. Meanwhile, looks like the Indians just gave up a base runner on a walk. Was it Luis Arias? Yes, it was. And now Miguel Sano, who has a home run, is up to the plate. Anyways, where was I? Oh, yes, high school football. Berea Mid-Park, by the way, is the second best team to not make the top 25 according to Northeast Ohio Zone's picks. And Highland nowhere near it. To me, it is the Rodney Dangerfield effect. We don't get no respect. No respect, I tell you. No respect at all. And you know who does get respect? I'll tell you gets respect. A kid who is celebrating his, 6th or 7th birthday for like the 24th year in a row. Pablo Sanchez for the Backyard Baseball Series. There he is, the greatest player to have ever lived. Backyard Baseball's Pablo Sanchez. There he is from either Backyard Baseball 2001 or 2003. Look at that. He has a 10 out of 10 in batting and fielding, 9 out of 10 in running, and a 5 out of 10 in pitching. And the pitching could use some work, but come on. Pablo Sanchez is the GOAT. I'm pretty sure most of you all knew that by now. And in the original Backyard Baseball, it wasn't out of 10, it was rather out of 4. And Pablo was 4 out of 4 for everything except pitching. He was a 3 out of 4. So he was 15 out of 16, the original Backyard Baseball, 34 for 40 in the Backyard Baseballs 2001 and 03, and 43 out of 50 in Backyard Baseball 2005, because in 2005 he has a 9 out of 10 in power and contact, 10 out of 10 in running, 7 out of 10 in pitching and fielding. Pablo Sanchez is so good. You know what he's also good at? He's good at football too. Backyard football is also a game. Watch Pablo Sanchez. Well, not yet, but he's also good in this game as well. This is just backyard football. Not Pablo, but we'll get to Pablo later. Anyways, in the original Backyard Football, he is 4 out of 4 in throwing, catching, and running. And he is also 3 out of 4 in blocking and 2 out of 4 in kicking. In Backyard Baseball 2002, 8 out of 10 passing, 9 out of 10 catching, and 10 out of 10 in running. Here we go with the big touchdown right here. Watch Pablo play running back. He's going to get it. Look at him being all alone. He makes a catch, and you can tell that 4 out of 4 speed. This is the original Backyard Football, so his 4 out of 4 running really allows him to get into the end zone right there for the touchdown. Also has a 6 out of 10 in blocking and kicking. Pablo Sanchez, just a beloved football player for obvious reasons. Look at him celebrate. Just so happy. Mr. Clanky saying he just scored a touchdown. Backyard Football 2006, he's 8 out of 10 in running, catching, and passing. His blocking and defense are 7 out of 10, tackling 9 out of 10, but his kicking is a weak 5 out of 10. So he's 17 out of 20 in the original Backyard Football, 39 out of 50 in Backyard Football 02, and 45 out of 60 in Backyard Football 2006. That is a very consistent and very good player who can do everything. But here might be his weakest sport, backyard basketball. But he's still good at basketball. Look at all that. His inside shooting in the original Backyard Basketball was terrible. 3 out of 10. Probably because of how small he is. But his defense is an 8 out of 10. His outside shooting and quickness, 9 out of 10. His ball handling, a perfect 10 out of 10. On Backyard Basketball 2004, he gets worse. He has a terrible 1 out of 10 inside shooting, and his defense is 5 out of 10. But his quickness is maxed out, and has an 8 out of 10 in ball handling and outside shooting. So he's still pretty good. 39 out of 50 in the original Backyard Basketball, but 32 out of 50 in Backyard Basketball 2004. Obviously not his strong suit, but you know what? You just don't say no to the secret weapon like Pablo Sanchez. But who is Pablo Sanchez? We don't know that much about Pablo Sanchez and his history behind him, both literally in the game and for the game. Well, today is Pablo Sanchez's birthday. He's a pint-sized baseball player who is extremely talented. You saw Pablo Sanchez. The bat is bigger than him, but he's still the best. He's so small. He has a pot belly, and his pot belly shows because his shirt is too small. But you won't believe how broken and incredible he is. He's the smallest player in the entire game. Another noted feature, of course, is Pablo Sanchez wearing his cap backwards. Now, for those that are unaware, he didn't wear his cap backwards in the Backyard Baseball games up until Backyard Baseball 2005, in which they decided to add that, which was good. Speaking of which, his cap was yellow until 2002 when they changed it to purple. He's nicknamed the secret weapon, of course, but everyone knows the secret by now. Of course, Pablo Sanchez speaks Spanish, or so he thought.
Okay, don't tell the other kids, but I speak English. I learned Spanish in school.
What a plot twist. He speaks English, but learned Spanish in school. That might be my favorite line in the entire game. I just think it's hilarious. It's an inside joke because the voice actor of Pablo Sanchez actually knew English but learned Spanish in school, so they did that as a joke. In Backyard Baseball 2003, he says, "My Spanish is getting a lot better, huh?" As a joke as well, because they had a new voice actor. He can hit bombs, run fast, and field really well. He has appeared at every Backyard sports game to date. He has that iconic Mexican-like theme song, which is just great to hear. Music to everyone's ears. The deal is actually based on a character from the Bad News Bears who doesn't play because he doesn't look athletic and he does not speak English. The whole joke was to make a star player in a body that doesn't look like a star player. In fact, they actually had a Colombian-born developer to make Pablo's Spanish actually sound good and make sure that what they were saying was good, which is actually quite interesting in my opinion. And if you didn't pick Pablo first, you're wrong. Pablo was and always is the GOAT. He's the greatest. We just got Luis Arias caught stealing, by the way. Nobody can top Pablo. Nobody at all. If you believe Pablo Sanchez is a terrible human or a terrible player, you're crazy. He's the GOAT. He's the greatest player ever. Everyone loves Pablo Sanchez. I love Pablo. You should love Pablo. Everybody loves Pablo. And I hope you love the Tommy Maroon Sports Show right here on WCTV. Next week, more Tommy's Picks. NFL preview coming up. Next week, going to be a review on the god-awful Madden NFL 22, which, spoiler alert, is god-awful. And until then, I'm Tommy Maroon here signing off. Have a great rest of your day.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.